This is the KitchensinkWP podcast, episode 643.
I program my own computer.
We have a server crash. 404 error. Page not found. Links aren't working. System is crashing. System is crashing. System is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. We have the technology.
Hello, everybody. This is Adam Silver, the host of the KitchensinkWP podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events, WordCamps next weekend. There are none, so there's that. Yeah, it's summertime, and in the States, as we know, there have been no WordCamps, I think, all year. Yeah, that's right. The next one that I know about for sure is US in Arizona in August. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, nothing else really on the calendar. All right, moving on. Segment 2 in the news. I'm sorry, segment 1. What am I talking about? That's just weird. Segment 1 in the news. A couple of things here about malware and exploits. First of all, a WordPress plugin, multiple WordPress plugins from ShapedPlugin were compromised in a supply chain attack that distributed infected releases to paying customers via the vendor's official update system. This is crazy. I'll put a link in the show notes. Was this on Bleeping Computer? Where did I see this again? Yeah, Bleeping Computer did the write-up on this one. Check it out if you are using any of the Shaped plugins. You want to make sure you are up to date there. And also, OptinMonster had an exploit. More than 1 million WordPress websites were at risk of the full website takeover after the vulnerability in a plugin enabled a large-scale supply chain attack. According to the researchers, hackers found and exploited a vulnerability in the Updraft Plus WordPress plugin. So yeah, not great. And lastly, in that little note there, it says here, even after OptinMonster removed the malicious CDN scripts, attackers retained control of already compromised websites through a rogue admin account and hidden backdoor plugins, etc. I'll put a link in the show notes. Where did I see that one? That one came to my feed, Tech Radar. But I'll link in the show notes if you guys want to read the entire articles on those. But if you're running those plugins, by all means, you're going to want to make sure you are up to date and check to make sure you're not at risk or vulnerable to any backdoor attacks. So there's that. And that is it in the news. Moving on, segment 2, the meat potatoes of this week's episode. This week, I'm talking about Black Friday. That's right. Now, I promise, if you're listening from a beach chair somewhere, you're on a cruise, you're overseas, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to ruin your summer. And I know you're thinking, Adam, it's only June. The kids just got out of school. Summer vacations are just starting. Half the country's heading to the beach, like I said. Why are we talking about Black Friday? Well, because I'll tell you why. Every year, I watch businesses wait until October to start planning for their biggest sales period of the year. And then they're just scrambling. So today, I just want to share a few things you can do right now that your future self will thank you for later. Now, it's not really about Black Friday. Before we go any further, let me clarify something. This episode is not about Black Friday. It's about preparation for Black Friday, okay? So Black Friday just happens to be the easy example because it's a fixed date on the calendar that most businesses know is coming. So maybe your busy season is membership renewals. Maybe it's before the summer starts. Maybe it's race registrations. Maybe it's a conference season, fundraising campaigns, tax season, product launches, or possibly a coaching program. Okay, whatever your version of Black Friday is, the lesson is the same. And that's the point here. The business that appears prepared rarely start preparing at the last minute. They start months, if not, a year early, okay? So with that said, we have, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 things that we can do to help you prepare and be on top of the game that you want to be on top of, okay? So starting with the first one here is site performance audits. If you're expecting an increase of traffic later this year, now is the time to see how your site is performing. Run your sites through a handful of different places. Page speed insights, check your core web vitals, look for oversized images, outdated plugins, slow loading pages, and anything that creates friction for the user. Fixing issues in June is the gift for yourself. Finding them during your business week is the crisis. I mean, this is something I've been thinking about a lot lately. I've just launched 2 sites recently, nitapacer.com, therunnerguide.com is still being worked out on the back end. Neither project for me is preparing for Black Friday specifically, but I know the usage will hopefully increase over time. I'd much rather truly identify the bottlenecks now versus later. So the call to action for you is open Google PageSpeed this week, test your homepage plus one important page. Don't fix everything, just identify your top 3 issues. Okay, that's the first thing we're going to talk about. The second thing is going to be hosting upgrades, because every year I see businesses spend weeks crafting offers and campaigns only to discover their hosting wasn't ready. Now, this is the time you need to ask the simple question: can your host handle the traffic you're going to hope to get? It's a good time to review your backups, your security settings, your SSL certs, and possibly, hopefully not needed, a disaster recovery plan. So now, the call to action: ask your hosting company one simple question. If my traffic doubled or 3x'd or 4x'd tomorrow, could it be handled? Could they handle it? Or will it bottleneck and go down and give people a 503 page or a 504 or a 505, whatever page, 301 redirect, whatever it may be? Can it handle it? Because if it can't, you have a problem. Okay, so keep that in mind. Have that plan in place. All right, moving on to the next one here. Plugin and theme updates. This one's not exciting. It's not sexy. I'm sorry, but it's exactly why it gets ignored. Time to take inventory of your WordPress site. What plugins are you no longer maintained? That you're not using really, okay? What's inactive, what's active? What themes have not been updated in forever? And why do you have more than one theme on your site? Sure, it might be best practice to have one of the default themes there just in case, but you don't need 7 themes that you're not using anymore. Take those away, just remove them, okay? Are you several versions behind the theme that you're currently using? Not great. Summertime, great time to clean things up, reduce surprises later. So the call to action: log in, check your site, make sure your plugins that you no longer use are removed. The ones that you're using are updated recently. Same thing with the themes. Pretty basic, pretty low hanging fruit. Yeah, low hanging fruit. Okay. So just trust me on this one. You don't want to keep all those extra themes there. It's just overhead and a mind tax you don't need to worry about. All right, moving on. Next one is landing pages and funnels. Now here, in my opinion, is where many businesses wait far too long. A great landing page rarely happens overnight. You want to review your customer journey right now. What happens when someone lands on your site? What action do you want them to take? What are people dropping off? Like, what are they not doing that you want them to do? Where do they leave? The business that converts best often spends months upon months refining these experiences. So, call to action: pretend you've never visited your site before. Give yourself 30 seconds. Can you clearly identify what action you're supposed to take? If not, start right there. If you don't know what you're supposed to do, you have a problem, and you know the site the best. So if you can't figure that out, how is your customer going to figure that out? Okay. Next section is email list growth. And this needs to be done before the holiday rush. This might be the most important section of this episode, because if you're planning to market something later this year, well, who are you marketing to? Your email list today is largely the audience you'll be selling to in November. You can't magically create a large engaged email list in October. Yes, I guess you could buy leads, but then the whole issue of spam and Can Spam Act and GDPR, that's going to come into play, just in the bigger picture, right? So the call to action here: challenge yourself to add 50 new subscribers before August 1st, not November 1st. Just 50, not 5,000, okay? Just keep it to 50. Simple. All right, next up is inventory and content planning. Whether you sell products, services, membership, courses, or content, what are you actually planning to promote? Because many business owners may not know this yet, and that's okay, but now's the time to start thinking about it. Now, this is what I'm doing with, like I said earlier, the Runner Guide and Need a Pacer. Now, I could spend the next few months creating 50 different guides. Instead, I'm focusing on a handful of quality resources first. The goal for myself and for you shouldn't be to build everything all at once. It just can't be done. The goal is to build the right things. So, call to action: write down 3 products, services, or pieces of content that generated the most value over the last year. Those are probably worth promoting again, because why recreate the wheel when you could just kind of use the same outline and framework that's worked in the past, maybe with a slight, variation there, but it will work for you. All right, we're almost done here. Next one is a bit of a secret. Now, the reason why developers get booked by September is because the closer we get to Black Friday, the harder it becomes to find good help. Developers get booked, designers get booked, copywriters get booked, marketing teams get booked. When I was running KitchensinkWP full-time, like full-time, when I had way more clients than I have now, I cannot tell you how many conversations started with, we need this before Black Friday. sometime in October. It happened consistently year after year. The challenge wasn't willingness, it was just bandwidth. I didn't have the time. We just couldn't do it. So right now, call to action. Make a list of every outside resource you might need between now and the year end and start those conversations with people early. Like I said, do it right now because people get busy, people get booked. And unfortunately, yes, we got things done for our client base, but the new stuff that came in that might have been fantastic for ongoing future work, we had to say no to. We were just too busy. It just wasn't viable. So don't get stuck there, okay? All right, so how is this kind of playing into my life right now? Well, as I was preparing this episode, I realized I'm actually following much of my own advice. With NeedAPacer.com, I'm really focused on growing the awareness of the site, of the community, before I really need it. With the Runner Guide, I'm creating content now that I hope people discover months from now, evergreen content. And that site is still getting built on the back end, nothing on the front end to see, but I have been building the content a lot lately, just slowly but surely, because I want to launch that site with a pretty good resource library ready to go. With runadam.run, I'm continuing to grow my audience, build relationships in the running space, and I'm going to conferences in that mindset. And again, none of these projects for me are tied to Black Friday specifically, but they're examples of the same principle. The work that pays off later started much earlier than you think. Okay, so I'm not suggesting you spend your entire summer thinking about Black Friday. Go on vacation, stay on vacation, enjoy the sunshine, touch the grass, as the kids say, but spend a few hours this month making sure your business is heading into the second half of the year with a plan. Whether your busy season is Black Friday, race registration season, membership renewals, you get the gist. Future you is counting on present day you to start preparing now. So yes, Black Friday might be 5 months away, but preparation season starts right now. Okay, there you go. That's my little bit of a rant. That's my push for you to kind of get off your duff and do those things. And now we move on to segment 3, tip and tool of the week. This one is a website I heard from a friend. Could be interesting. It's called Leadwebia, Leadwebia. There's a free level to start. I have no connection. And per their website, it says Leadwebia is designed for marketing agencies, freelance web developers, and B2B sales teams who need who need to efficiently find and qualify local business leads. So it's a lead generation type of website and company. Looks pretty interesting. I'm going to sign up for the free side of it. I'm curious to see what it might be able to do for me in a couple of my niches that I'm pursuing currently. So check that out if you want. Again, I have no connection to them, just someone gave me the lead on them. So I thought I'd share with you. All right, that's it for this episode. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use that SpeakPipe function on the website. If you want to support the show, become a Patreon. That'd be great. You can also buy me a coffee. Links on the website. If you want to sponsor the show, you can do that too. Form on the site. I'll get right back to you. Fill that out. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right. Bye-bye.